Okay, well today we have number 95, 96. I'm doing this one first. This is exactly like the last one I just did. I think this one has chrome rims. Yes, sir. They look nice. So I'll have to see what the owner wants to do with those. Those are not going to the salvage yard, I'll tell you that. This one has a little damage. This vent's broken. I've got a new vent for him. I'm putting that in for him. Front fender's broken. So evidently it had a little, oops. Nice bike. It's in, other than that, I mean, it's in cherry condition. It's really very nice. I don't know how many miles are on it. It doesn't really matter. Mileage doesn't really matter on Gold Wings. But it looks good. So we'll get this one started today. I'm waiting for my powder coat machine to get fixed here. I've got all that stuff there on the bench there that has to be powder coated. I've got A-arms all done down there. And I got the frames, the main frames for both of these bikes done. So they're ready to go on. So by noon, it's about 10 o'clock. I spent the morning shoveling snow. I think since Saturday we got over 20 inches of snow. It's the first normal winter we've had in 20 years. So between shoveling snow and shoveling snow, I'm working on these. I should have these. This one here should be all prepped by noon, and I'm not real sure if I'm going to just work on the one. I think what I'll do is get the other one on the hoist and get that one prepped too, and then I'll do them both at the same time. So we'll see how that goes. Here's something that's weird, and this is on every single bike. I've yet to come across one that isn't this way. People grease these axles. Why they grease the axle, I have no idea. The axle does not have anything to do with the bearing spinning or anything like that. It's just a rod that clamps everything together, and it won't rust. It's an alloy that won't rust. You'll never see rust on the end here. But everybody greases these things. I just don't get it. It doesn't hurt anything, but it's just a waste of grease, really. Just something to mention. Not a big deal. So, all right, I'm an hour into this, and she's done. This is ready for assembly. I've got the radiator hoses cut. So this one here goes down to the bottom of the third radiator. Top of that one comes up to here. One thing I found on this bike, which I've never seen before, is it's full of rust. The coolant is kind of gritty, and the hoses, you stick your finger in there, and it was coated with rust. And I don't know where rust would come from. Everything's aluminum here. So I'm actually going to flush this one. I've got a little pump that I can hook up to this, as long as I got them open like this, and I'm going to flush the whole system and make sure that it's all pushed out of there and I get some fresh coolant in. So it'll be a little different procedure on this one, but not a big deal. I'm just glad I came across this, because this could have been escalated into something serious down the road here. So this one's done. It's 10 after 11. I started about 10 after 10. So an hour to get this far. I'm going to get the other one ready here, and hopefully it'll be done by noon or close to it. And this afternoon we start assembly. Okay, this one took a little bit longer than the other one to get this far. I've got about 15 minutes left here and I'm going to go eat lunch, but I had to contend with a belly pan and a fork brace, so that's slowing me down a little bit. And then getting it on the rack or on the lift here properly took a little bit more time. But I'm not I'm not on the clock. So here we go. Greased or not greased? Oh, gobs of grease. Gobs of grease. Don't know why. I just find it humorous. It doesn't make any difference. If you want to oil these things and grease them, it doesn't matter. But I just think it's a little funny to spend the time to grease something that does not. This is kind of like greasing the steering wheel on your car. I don't know. Anyway, just one of those things you run across. This guy here is all done, ready for assembly. So both of them I'm going to get started on tomorrow morning. I'm still waiting for the powder coating parts to come in. And I have to run and get some brass elbow for this one for the radiator bypass thing. And I gotta buy a snow rake. My roof has got 20 inches of snow on it, and I think I need to pull some of that down. So, gonna pull the plug here and get some chores done. And then tomorrow, I'm hoping to have the adapter frames, maybe the main frames on both of these. So we're gonna see how that progresses.